What's going on, movie trivia Schmoedown fans? It's your boy C-Dub coming back at you. Today we got the fucking championship. Dangerous Dan Murrell defends his title against the commissioner, our boy, the person who is responsible for all of this, Christian motherfucking Harloff. Christian, we believe in you. Take that belt.
And the winner, Dangerous Dan Murrell.
But showmanship is something, and I love a build-up. I want steel to sharpen steel. I want the best of the best to clash against each other every single week. I want the best of the best to win every single week, and I want to face the absolute best of the best to win this belt. Because if they take it from me, I want it to be fair and square. I want to face the best of the best.
You know, you'll hear it from the fans. So you win, it's rigged. You lose,
rigged, right.
You threw it. So I'm never
Only
going
a jackass
to
would
throw.
think
I'm always
it's
going to play the
rigged.
competitive nature and wants to do that. I didn't think I would beat Bibiani. I didn't think I would beat Steiner. And now here I am, and now I'm playing the best of all time, and I will say I don't think I'm going to beat him.
But you will
First thing
beat
I'm
him.
going to do before anything is shake your hand.
Oh, my pleasure.
You and I, before being Knowles, we got a Knoll thing here, but you are, by far, and I've told you this many times, you're one of the best people I know in this space. Oh, thank you. It is an honor to have you. It was an honor to have you the first time as the champion. It is an honor to have you once again as the champion. And now it's going to be an honor to face you.
Well, it's a privilege to have the championship, and it'll be a privilege to fight you, my friend, because you know your stuff.
Well, here's the problem I face. Because I just watched seeing you what you did. I face the problem that I'm coming off of a team victory over you.
Yes.
And I know how you get.
Yeah.
What you just said about the free-for-all, I'm sure you feel the same way about me.
To be honest, the second biggest sting that I've ever had in that ring was getting it down to 50-50 on the first Martin Scorsese movie and picking the wrong one. So I do have a chance now to right that wrong.
You do, and you also, and the flip side of that, you defeated my partner in the Spectacular.
I did.
No matter what, if I was to take that off of you, the fans are going to say that I did it in my favor, but I will tell you what, we're going to fight, we're going to have a great time. I'm honored, absolutely honored to play you.
I'm honored to play you, and I want to talk to the fans, because I see this nonsense about Christian floating around. And I'll tell you, I am a true champion. I would not play a man who would rig a game, and I would not play in a rigged game. I walk, and I'm not doing that. I look forward to playing this guy, and whoever wins this game is going to be your champion fair and square. So all that nonsense you're spouting online, stop it. It's going to be a fair fight. It's going to be one hell of a good fight.
Yeah! Christian! You gotta love Christian.
Welcome, one and all, to the movie trivia Schmoedown. It is a championship atmosphere here today. I am Mark Ellis. That is Ken Knapsack. And Ken, when you talk about competition, you talk about movie trivia, one person comes to mind, and that is Christian Harloff, the man who co-created this entire thing. He is the commissioner of the league, and he's going up against perhaps the best player the league has ever seen.
It is amazing and fun to watch Dangerous Dan Murrell move through the Schmoedown, even in losses. He is entertaining and powerful and a force to be reckoned with, and he regained that title. But I have said it time and time again, the commissioner, Christian Harloff, it can be easy to overlook him because he spends so much time up here. But this man started all this with you because of a passion for movies. It makes sense that he's here contending today.
That's right, because books are dumb. And the funny thing about this matchup is that it wasn't really ever on the radar, because Christian just had this little revenge tour he was going to go on, like a rock band that got thrown into the most famous band in the world all of a sudden. His little revenge tour started started out strong, and it only picked up steam, and it somehow has landed here, pitting him against Dan Murrell.
Wow, this is going to be quite a Titanic matchup.
It's a Titanic.
Is a higher version of Titanic.
I did not know that. I would have lost that point to you. And, you know, it's such a big
The
match that I
battle
don't think
of
just two people can call it. I think we need
proportions.
somebody. I think we need a little bit of celebrity muscle here. Nobody better to do that than Mr. Mark Yodi Riley, everybody.
Wow.
Yodi!
We are great.
Multi-champion.
Look at that.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yep. Yep. One of the legends of the game.
That's right. Making Matthew Kearns happy with his appearance here
Yes.
today. We'll be calling the match. Mark Riley.
Honored to have this man next to us here.
That's right. He brought his Superman music, which is very exciting. Much like a competitor would. Riley, you are never that far from the championship spotlight, and here you're calling a match between Dan Murrell and Christian Harloff. What do you think the competitors are going through right now?
Well, first of all, guys, it's an honor to be up here with two heavyweights in the league here of announcing and calling against two heavyweights here.
Yeah.
So, who do I got? Are you asking me the question of who I have in this match, or what do I think?
Hashtag who you got.
Who do I got? It's going to be tough. But what you said, Ken Knapsack, is Christian Harloff can never be overlooked.
Right.
This guy, he almost pitched a perfect game against John Roca, one of my rivals, who is another heavyweight in this league. But Dan Murrell, I have fought him twice. Sadly, I've lost twice.
Yeah.
This guy is tough to beat. I don't know. I might have to give the slight edge to Dan Murrell.
That's why we bring you on here. Now, both competitors graduated from Tallahassee Clown College, and Mark Riley, as you get
it's
into
a good one.
I hear good things about that. Now, look, when you look at this from a tournament standpoint, we could have a belt changing hands. How hard is it once you get in the ring to protect that belt that you worked so hard to achieve in the first place?
It's tough. You know, the league play is one beast. The championship is another. These lights can get to you. They got to me in my match with Dan Murrell the first time. But I know that when you have played this game a lot, you can get all of that out of there. You can play just one question at a time. That's what this game is. One question at a time. And if Christian can do that, which I know he can, he should be okay and hang in there tough.
One question at a time, 5 rounds for the championship matchup, and there has been some cordial words, but you can clearly see the fire and the passion between these two competitors. Here's a quick look. All right, well, here we are. This is very interesting. It's very exciting. I am getting a chance to go up against Dangerous Dan Murrell for the championship, who I am a huge fan of. I think he's one of the guys that helped me and Mark really build this thing. He is arguably the greatest that has ever played the game. And just like Rocky, I just wanted to go the distance.
I'm back. I'm here to defend this belt. For the second time, by the way. I can defend this belt anytime, anywhere. It doesn't matter if I just won it. Doesn't matter if I won it 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago. I will be back to defend this. That's what I'm doing here today. I'm going to play my game. My game's the same if the belt's on the line, if the belt's not on the line. I play to win the game. That's what I'm here to do today.
The thing with Dan is that he just goes in always cool, calm, collected. And that's the game I want to play today.
I play who I got to play. I don't care if it's Mance. I don't care if it's Wolf. I don't care if it's Riley or Roca or Riley again or Levine. Doesn't matter. I go in to play the game. I win the game. I leave. And I wait for the fates to decide who I'm going to play next.
I'm well aware that no matter what happens, I'm in a lose-lose situation. Because if I lose and I decide I don't want to play anymore, it's like, oh, why'd you? I mean, you jumped it. You didn't want to play. You say you haven't want to play for a while, so you didn't give it your heart. If I win, well, he must have certainly known all the questions. That's the only way he could have beat Dan Murrell. So, you know, I'm used to it. I'm ready for it. Like I said, this is more about me proving to myself that I can hang.
There's lots of talk about records and I tie this record or I break this record. I'm not all about records and numbers. I'm not like some of those competitors out there that are just focused on their records. I'm focused on how I play the game. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't have anything left to prove. I've won this belt. You know what? I've lost this belt. I've won this belt back. I've defended this belt. I've done everything you can do in this game with this belt.
Dan, it's going to be something today, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You and I have faced once before in teams, but now it's one-on-one. It's a chance for the title, and I just want to see how I do stacked up against you.
What better game could you want than the championship of the Schmoedown, playing the creator of the Schmoedown, That's what this game is meant to be. It's meant to be a clash of the titans. It's meant to be a battle of the champions. That's what you're going to get here today.
Yeah!
I mean, look, you see that right there. Christian Harloff, very classy, going up against Dan Murrell. It's almost like Christian doesn't want the belt so much as he just wants to measure himself up against the best yardstick this league has arguably ever seen in Dan Murrell. He's just curious how long he can last in the ring.
Yeah, and Dan is up to the pressure. There's a lot of pressure being champ, Mark Riley. When you're out there defending the belt, not just lights on you, but sometimes it's personal pressure. Dan knows what it's like to defend. He knows what it's like to lose, so he also knows what it's like to regain. There's a lot going into this with Dan. I think he's comfortable and confident and calm, and that is almost eerie calm.
That's the dangerous thing about Dan Murrell, is that he is calm, and he said in his pregame interview that it doesn't matter who the competitor is. The game is the same. He's going to come. Doesn't matter if it's Christian Harloff, Clark Wolf, myself, John Roca. He is going to play the game as the way he knows how to play this game.
Yeah.
Mark Ellis as well. Do not forget Mark Ellis.
Thank you very
Apologies,
much.
sir.
You
It's
put up a
fun as
great
we go
fight
to the
against
tail of the
Murrell,
tape
Alex. We
here. You
love
look at the strengths of each competitor. Christian Harloff, obviously, the guy knows a lot about Star Wars, action, adventure, and doing a passable Jason Statham impression. And dangerous Dan Murrell. What doesn't this guy know? He's good on Oscars. He's good on Spielberg. He's good on drama, and he's good at everything in between.
And making flannel work.
Not the first, not the last, but definitely a great champion of both the movie Trivia Schmoedown and flannel. Speaking of champions, one of the best voices I've ever heard, like a strong songbird, the Eagle, Ken Napzok.
Well, all right. That sounds like a retired golfer's nickname, but we're going to go with it here. All right.
We like it here.
It's
working.
time. What's the intro? Is it time to Schmoedown? Movie trivia. Was that what you want me to say, Mark?
Go ahead and let that golden throat rip.
All right. It's time for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Championship Battle. 5 rounds to a finish. Introducing first. The challenger.
Don't get it twisted.
Representing Schmoedown and Collider. With a record of 7 wins, 3 defeats, and 5 KOs. He is the 2015 Ultimate Schmoedown winner and a former Movie Trivia Schmoedown Team Champion of the World. La Commissioner.
Doing the X for his good friend, his good personal ally, DMX.
Looking nice and calm there. Look at that. He's got the shades on. Block the lights. I like this. He looks ready.
Absolutely. And his opponent, representing Screen Junkies, with a record of 7 wins, 1 defeat, and 4 knockouts. He is the 2016 Schmoedown Player of the Year, the 2-time Movie Trivia Schmoedown Singles Champion, the reigning, defending Schmoedown Movie Trivia Champion of the World, Dangerous Dan Murrell.
And here comes Murrell. A sign of respect from Harloff standing. Murrell just okay. Murrell is all business here. To be sunglassed gentleman, Murrell gives Harloff this watch. An interesting turn of events.
What is this watch
Sheridan, time it is.
I gave Christian my watch so he knows time's up.
I'm gonna keep that watch. Like that. Christian not known to wear a timepiece, but maybe that'll change. Dan Murrell with his belt, Christian with his customary bottle of Sparklet's water, and we are about ready to get going.
Looking for sponsors.
Here, as we get into the rules for round 1. Keep in mind, competitors, you need to pace yourself and hydrate because it is 5 rounds of movie trivia mayhem. The first round is what you're used to. 8 questions from 8 different movie categories. Once you hear the question, please write down your answer on the whiteboard. When prompted, please show your answer to the cameras. At the same time, you verbalize it. Each question is worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question, and there is no stealing in round 1. Dan Murrell, you are the champion. Are you ready? for the championship match.
I'm always ready for the championship match.
He's ready to defend the belt, and Christian George Harloff of Schmoedown fame, are you ready to take that belt?
As ET says, ready.
I would thought he was going to go with a Be Good reference.
Let's get it, Christian.
Ready.
Let's get ready to Schmoedown.
Here we go.
It's 5 rounds to a finish. Round number 1. The questions will be administered by me and Mark Riley. To preserve the integrity of the game, Mark Ellis has not been allowed to bring a laptop or look at any questions.
In the Venn diagram of integrity and Mark Ellis, those two circles have never met.
All right, gentlemen, round 1, 8 questions. First question, category is comedies. Question is, Robert De Niro played Jack Walsh in what 1980s comedy flick?
80s comedy. 80s. What, Niro?
Comedy in the 80s, a bit different. A bit different.
Get away with a little bit
Yeah,
more.
a little bit more.
More un-PC.
See Thomas Howell, yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gentlemen, pens down. Dan Murrell.
16 candles?
Incorrect.
king of comedy.
Good guess. Nope. Midnight Run.
All right. Missing the first one.
Cancel the match. Cancel the match.
Get out of here.
Neither's worthy.
Back it up.
70s.
Midnight Run. Okay.
Charles Grodin. Come on.
All right.
All right, gentlemen. Question 2 comes in the category of animated. In Beauty and the Beast, during the song Gaston, how many dozens of eggs did Gaston say he eats every day as a grown man?
Mark, have you ever seen a grown man eat an egg?
I've seen a grown man cry.
I've seen grown men cry while eating eggs, and it is not a pretty sight.
Doctors don't recommend it.
Started eating eggs. I go with egg whites.
12 dozen?
4, 3, 2, and 1. Pens down. Christian Harloff.
5 dozen?
That is correct.
Wow.
Dan Murrell.
I said 3 dozen.
Ooh. I believe he had 3 dozen as a child.
Child.
I had to sing that song in my head over and over to get it.
Christian Harloff goes up by 1 on the champ,
All
but
right.
it's early.
Question 3, category is fantasy sci-fi. In Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, 2 members of the League of Evil Exes have portrayed superheroes on the big screen. Name one of them.
Ken, how many evil X's do you have? Can that beat Riley's record?
No.
Chris
Only one for
Evans.
me.
Mark 1. Oh, yeah, I have at least 18.
Oh, good.
That's
good.
a long
That
movie.
is a super
Mark Riley
very-
versus the World is a
5,
very long
4, 3, 2, and 1. We are going to go with Dan Murrell.
Captain America himself, Chris Evans.
That's right. 1 for Dan. Christian.
Not showing off, just wanted to make sure. Chris Evans, Brendan Round.
That's correct. That's correct.
Maybe a little bit of showing off there. Just a little bit of showing the
In
teeth.
case one was wrong. This one was right.
All right, 2 to 1. 1 with Harloff up by 1. Your next question, gentlemen, is in comic book movies. The question, who played Dr. Jonathan Crane, a.k.a. the Scarecrow, in Christopher Nolan's Batman films? Those are good films. I like
good
them.
films.
Have you seen them, Ken?
I have. Do any
The
of you
three-
guys own hockey?
Cillian Murphy.
I do.
I actually don't know. I own no hockey equipment.
The hockey pads I do
Yeah.
own, though, it's just a hockey mask.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Please reveal Christian Harloff.
Cillian Murphy.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Killian Murphy.
That's correct. 3 to 2.
right.
3 to 2.
Harloff still clinging to that narrow lead early in round 1.
All right. Next question, 5th in this round. Category is action adventure. Ong Bak was the 2003 breakout movie for what martial artist?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Ong Bak was the 2003 breakout movie for what martial artist?
Martial artists are guys who do karate and jiu-jitsu.
Very light on their feet.
They're good at calisthenics.
I took 3 weeks of karate
Oh, yeah?
because there's a KFC in between my house and the rec center where they taught it.
I had trouble putting on my socks this morning.
I got kicked out of my tumbling class at 7. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pens down. And Dan Murrell.
Donnie Yen?
Incorrect.
Correct.
I'm wrong too. Chung Yang Fat.
No, Tony Jaa. Tony Jaa.
Tough one. That's a championship level
Tough one.
question.
Yeah.
We are still at 3 to 2.
3 to 2.
Harloff up 1. Next question, gentlemen, is in the category, one of my favorites, horror thriller. And the question is, which Wes Craven horror film was remade in 2006 and focuses on a family of cannibals?
Tell us a quick question. If in a pinch, which one of us would you eat?
Oh, Mark Riley just looks so tasty.
I do have a good mid-size right now. A lot of meat there.
Yeah, I feel like Mark
The
Riley's
Hills
the
have
steak, and Ken is somewhat of a
eyes.
7-Eleven big bite.
That's true. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Christian Harloff did not have it. Dan Murrell.
The Hills have eyes.
That's
That is
correct.
correct.
Tie the game.
Oh, ties it up. That was a...
Hey.
He might kick himself in the morning over that one, gentlemen.
All right. 7th question in the first round. 7th question in the first round. Category is 90s movies. Question is, Gene Hackman plays Captain Frank Ramsey in what flick?
I should know this.
You know, true fact, born 50 years of age.
Really?
Came out old.
5, 4,
I
3,
can't remember.
2, 1. Christian Harloff. Crimson Tide.
That's correct.
And Dan Murrell.
Crimson Tide.
That's correct. We still have a tie game.
All right, tie game.
I did that entire question in my Gene Hackman accent.
That's
Nobody
correct.
picked up on it.
All right, guys. Next question. In the category of dramas, who played FBI Special Agent Richard DeLores in 2016's Patriots Day?
So these are
Championship level question. I looked these over and it was tough.
The writers clearly know this is a belt on the line here. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Forrest Whitaker?
and 1. Dangerous Dan Murrell. Mark Wahlberg.
Correct.
Christian Harloff. The same thing. Mark Wahlberg.
looking for Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin
Right.
Bacon.
Well, this is a barn burner. We are tied up, and that is the last question of the first round.
Right, sort of a feeling out process here in
Bad
round
first
1.
round for me.
4 to 4, definitely worthy and very, very tough questions as we progress to round 2, where fates can change and fantasies can come to life before your very eyes. Also known as the wheel round. Here's how it works. Each competitor gets a spin at their wheel. If you don't like the category you spun, you are allowed 1 mulligan, at which point you have to answer 4 questions from whatever category the wheel happens to land on. Each question is worth 2 points. If you're not sure of the answer, you can check the multiple choice, at which point the value of the question goes down to 1. Keep in mind, competitors, there is stealing in round 2. Since we are tied, Dan Murrell, the onus is on you. Would you prefer to spin that wheel or allow DMX to have the first shot?
I'll give DMX the first shot.
You don't want to cross DMX.
No, you don't.
It is.
Get at me,
Here we go.
dog.
Harloff with a big spin. There we
Good
go.
spin. Good spin.
There we go.
I mean, I've seen better.
Well-hydrated spin. Drama. Okay, Christian, what do you want to do? Heighten the drama or spin again?
Save the drama for your mama, but take it.
He's going to
Oh,
take it.
wow.
All right. He's going to take it.
Throw us off with the Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. He's so good at that. You know?
You know what? It's
Yeah.
because he practices.
Yeah. A lot.
Day in and day out, his poor family.
All right. Mark Riley's going to minister the questions for you, Christian Harloff.
All right, Christian, you're in the category of dramas. Your first question. What actor plays Detective McPhee, who takes part in killing the man in the bathroom in the movie Witness?
I have to go multiple choice on that one.
Is it Viggo Mortensen?
Incorrect.
Correct.
Dan Murrell for the steal.
5, 4, Harrison Ford.
Oh, no, that is incorrect as well. We were looking for Danny Glover.
Danny Glover. The competitor's getting too old for this shit.
We are still tied at 4, and Christian Harloff, your second question is coming at you now. Who co-stars with Robin Williams as Albert, his guide in the afterlife in the movie What Dreams May Come?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. A, Samuel L. Jackson. B, Denzel Washington. C, Jamie Foxx. D, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
That is correct.
All right.
Right.
Got a
Harloff
point.
goes up 1. And we go to the third question in the category of drama. What actress played the childhood friend of Jason Patric and Brad Pitt as an adult in the film Sleepers?
Female or male?
What actress?
Actress. Minnie Driver.
That's correct.
Wow.
2 points.
He knew all the friends in that movie.
Sure
It was
did.
a female actress.
All right, Christian Harloff, your next question. In the Grand Budapest Hotel, many of the Lutz police militia have an image of what animal's head on their hats?
A moose?
I've only seen it once. He knows it. Give me multiple multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice answers are A, owl, B, lion, C, wolf, D, bear.
Wolf.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Dan Murrell for the steal.
A little quizzical look on his face. We are going to need an answer.
Bear.
That is incorrect. We are looking for wolf.
Balls. Always good.
Wolf.
Good
It
guess,
was a
Chris.
wolf the whole time in sheep's clothing.
All right.
Is that it?
Now, that is all for Christian Harloff in round 2,
Shit,
but he
round.
does have the lead, 7-4. Please do not swear, there are children watching. Dan Murrell, you are up. You deferred your first spin. It is now time for you to be in the spotlight. Give that baby a toss.
All right.
I've never said that
Good
before.
spin from Dan. That spins
Round
in.
and
Spins
round.
in. A lot of power with one-handed spin.
That's
there.
right. That's a spin that has been there before.
Yeah, he
Lots of
knows.
practice.
And the
knows
lefty,
that wheel.
too. I didn't know he was a southpaw.
Knows that wheel.
Here it comes.
Here it is.
Oh, no.
I've had that happen to me. That can change the game, or he can overcome it and do all right.
It's not huge because he fucking knows everything.
Opponent's choice, and we should remind the audience watching that it is up to the favorite or the champion in this case to decide whether they want opponents and spinner's choice on there.
I don't know sports either.
So Christian, Dan Murrell did decide to have opponents and spinner's choice on there. This is his own knife, perhaps digging into his back. What category would you like to make him answer questions from?
problem is, I know that's a problem. Nah, there's Thriller in there. He knows Thriller.
Go to
This is where you
sports
four.
or
Dan's
Give me
three.
sports.
Sports
movies.
Sports movies.
sports movies.
All right.
New
All
world
right.
order.
All right. All right. Dangerous Dan Murrell. Christian Harloff has selected sports for you. You're going to get 4 questions in this round. You do have multiple choice. Question 1. Who played enthusiastic linebacker Alan Bosley in Remember the Titans?
Multiple choice.
I don't know
A.
what I hear.
Donald Faison. B.
Ryan Hurst.
Gosling. C. Ryan Hurst. D. Craig Kirkwood.
Ryan Hurst.
Donald Faison.
Incorrect.
Ryan Gosling.
That's correct.
That's correct for a steal. Big
That's
steal.
a trick question.
Big steal. That's a good one
That's
there.
right. 4-point lead for Harloff.
All right, Mr. Murrow, second question. What film follows the perfect game performance of an aging baseball star and what could be his final game of professional
For the
baseball?
love of the game.
You repeat the question.
Sure. What film follows the perfect game performance of an aging baseball star and what could be his final game in
For the
professional
love
baseball?
of the game.
For love of the game.
That is correct.
correct.
2
2
points
points.
for Dan. Kevin
Back up
Costner.
Might have been the one that gets Murrell woken up here.
Yeah,
Wade was in another movie.
Kevin Costner. John C. Riley, his catcher. All right. Question 3. In Happy Gilmore, what fast food chain does Gilmore become a
Subway.
spokesperson for?
Subway sandwiches.
That's
2
right.
big points. He ties it up. That is why he is dangerous.
As it turns out, a better spokesperson than Jared after all these years.
He went there, folks.
Decorum. Final question of the round, Dan. Against which team did Notre Dame's Daniel Rudy Rudiger get a sack against in the motion picture?
Georgia
Rudy?
Tech. Georgia Tech.
Multiple
Georgia
choice.
Tech.
A. Army. B. Pitt. C. Miami. D. Georgia Tech.
Georgia
Army.
Tech.
Incorrect.
Georgia Tech.
That's correct
That's
for a
correct
point.
for a
That is
point.
correct.
Big steal.
That's a big steal because now Harloff retains the lead at 9-8. Now we move on to round 3, and it's going to be a little bit of a different circumstance. This is known as the betting round, and Christian in the lead is going to give that wheel one more spin. Whatever category it lands on will have one question. Once you see the category, the competitors are going to be able to wager between 0 and 3 points, depending on their confidence level. We will then ask the question, and then you will reveal how many points you wagered after the answer.
Big spin for the wager round.
There it goes. All right. It's looking like it could be 90s. Spinner's choice. So now Christian Harloff can choose whatever category he wants.
He is
Sports. He went right back
To sports.
to sports.
Wow, okay.
Now we're going to ask the competitors to
I'd
each write
bet
down
3
how many
points.
points they'd like to wager again from 0 to 3, and then one of our trusty team members is going to confirm that.
Yeah, we have Dennis Zen on the side.
Dennis
one
Zen,
of the trustiest people in the office.
I don't trust many people here, but he's one of them.
Perhaps the only trustworthy person in this office here. All right, the bets are down. Your guys' question is as follows. I'll read it. In 1993's Rookie of the Year, what team were the Chicago Cubs playing against in the film's Big Game, the final game of the regular season? Yeah.
That is a tough question. I will tell you that right now.
That is
New York
the easiest
Mets.
one I've ever heard. I know. I've heard a lot of them.
I did know
the question.
Sure.
In 1993's Rookie of the Year, what team were the Chicago Cubs playing against in the film's Big Game, the final game of the regular season?
All right. Editors writing down their answers, and now we go to Dan Murrell first. Dan Murrell, how many points did you wager?
I wagered 2.
You wagered two in the category of sports, and your answer was?
Wrote the Oakland A's.
No.
Incorrect.
Correct. Murrell goes down to 6. So as of right now, Harloff enjoys a 3-point lead. Christian, how many points did you bet?
3.
And your answer?
Cardinals.
You're going to be down 3 points. The
Incorrect.
correct answer was the New York Mets.
The New York Mets, and now we are
Interesting.
tied going into round 4.
We are lighting this up.
That's right. Hey, if you don't know Rookie of the Year better, that's why you're in this position. We move on to the speed round. This is where we can really get the hot tub frothing because we're going to ask the field 5 questions. As soon as a question is asked, or a part of the question is asked, you feel confident you know the answer, you may buzz in. Once you buzz in, you have exactly 2 seconds from the time I say your name to answer the question. If you do not get it, even if you have the correct answer, outside of that 2 seconds, you will lose a point.
Come on, Chris.
All right, gentlemen, are you ready? All right, your first question in the speed round is, what are Simon Pegg and Nick Frost's profession in Hot Fuzz?
Dan Murrell. Cops.
That is correct for 1 point. Question 2. What 1989 comedy stars John Travolta, Kirstie
Look
Alley,
who's
and a
talking.
baby with the voice?
Look who's talking.
That's correct.
That's right.
Question 3 in the speed round. Who voiced the title character in Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Dan Murrell. Bill Murray.
Incorrect.
Loses a point, and it was George Clooney. So now Harloff up 7-6. 2 speed round questions remain.
All right, guys, 4th question. Which movie was the feature film directorial debut of F. Gary Gray?
Friday.
Italian Job.
Incorrect.
It was not false either. It was Friday, and it's now 6-6. 1 speed round question remaining.
All right, guys, listen carefully. Final question. In Independence Day, who plays Captain Stephen Hiller's fighter
Dan
pilot?
Murrell. Harry Connick Jr.
That's
No,
right.
I was counting.
That's correct.
I was within 2. I was within 2. Barely within 2. Dan Murrell gets the point. It is now 7-6 as we move on to the 5th round. What a hotly contested match with nobody getting questions right here in the championship match. Round
Come
5.
on, Christian.
It was
You got
don't worry,
this.
It was 2. It was 2 seconds.
Let's go.
I'll challenge it. I want to see if someone out there thought it was more than that. I'd like to
All right,
bring
we
in
have a
full
challenge
judge.
on the field.
After consulting with a panel of judges of various blood alcohol levels, we have decided that we will ask another question. Ken Knapsack kept reading the question, thus it gave Murrell a little bit too much insight into what the answer may have been. So we have a new speed round question that is going to be asked. Once again, this is the last question in round 4. We are currently tied.
All right, guys, 5th and final question. Who portrayed the role of Texas Ranger LaBouffe in the 2010 remake?
Josh Brolin.
Matt Damon.
That's correct.
All right, so big swing there with the Harloff challenge. It is now 7-6 going into round 5. This is a crazy championship match that has very little points being scored, but a whole lot of drama in store for us. Now we move on to the final round, barring
Come on,
overtime.
Christian.
And here's how it works. Each competitor is going to give us up here at the desk 3 numbers ranging from 1 to 20. Each one of those categories corresponds to a movie category up here. The first question is worth 2 points. The second question is worth 3 points. And your last question is worth 5 points. There is no stealing. There is no penalty for missing a question. Only your legacy in the movie trivia Schmoedown. Christian Harloff, you are winning by 1 point. So what are the three numbers you would like to have?
7, 1, and 13.
7, 1, and 13.
Good round of applause for those numbers.
Good numbers.
Odd numbers all.
A lot of fans of the number 1 here. All right, Dan, your numbers.
16, 8, and 15.
Ooh, I thought he was going all even.
Wow.
Love that last one. All evens.
Wow. Curveball there.
All right.
Coming back around.
All right.
15.
Dan Murrell,
Thank
you are going to receive the first question. This is the 2-point question for Dan Murrell to take the lead.
All right, Dan, I'll be asking this question. 2-point question. You chose the number 16, which is fantasy sci-fi. 2-point question. John Carter takes place on Earth
Mars.
and Mars. That's correct. 2 points.
2 points for Dan Murrell, and
That's a question, all right.
Jesus H. Christ, what is Christian's first question?
All right, Christian, your first number was the number 7, and that corresponds to the category of Scorsese films. Scorsese.
He is a director.
Your 2-point question. What was Henry Hill selling when he got arrested the first time as a kid in the movie Goodfellas?
Cigarettes.
That is correct for 2 points. Christian Harloff.
Weird trivia question. I've arrested Henry Hill as well.
Let's cancel the match and hear that story.
I did not know that.
I'm fine with that.
So now we move back to Dan Murrell. You will be answering your 3-point question administered by Henry Hill's latest arrestee, Ken Knapsack.
All right, you're down by 1. You're going to need the 3-point. You chose, Dan, the number 8. That is Meryl Streep.
Oh, boy.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep movies.
All right, 3-point question. Who directed Meryl in Ricky and the Flash?
I'm going to go to 5, 4, 3, 2. Nora Ephron.
Incorrect. Looking for Jonathan Demme.
Jonathan Demme. And now, with Dan Murrell trailing, he is going to be forced to answer his 5-point question. If Dan Murrell gets this right, we go back to Christian Harloff, who has 2 questions remaining. If Dan Murrell misses this, then Christian Harloff, the commissioner, is also the new champion of the movie Trivia Schmoedown.
All right, Dan Murrell, you chose number 15. That is the category of horror thriller. Horror thriller. 5-point question. Put you in the lead. Put this back into Christian's court. What is the name of the bartender in The Shining?
Lloyd.
That's correct, Fight.
That is why he is so dangerous. He nailed that one. I didn't think he would.
Very confident answer by Dan Murrell. Maybe he's had a run-in with ghost bartenders in one of his many travels. And now we go back to Christian Harloff, who really has a practice question here. It's worth 3 points. It's not really going to matter if you get it right either way, but it's going to make you feel good about yourself.
Thanks. All right, Christian Harloff, your next question,
on,
3
Christian.
points. You chose the number 1, corresponds to the category of war films. Who directed The Great Escape?
I forgot.
Is that your final answer?
No shot in the dark.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. The answer we were looking for is John Sturgis.
Yeah.
John Sturgis.
John Sturgis, of course. And John
Come on,
Carter was from
Christian.
Mars.
Come
Here we
on.
go with the 5-point question. If Christian Harloff gets this,
Come
he is the
on.
new champion of the movie Trivia Schmoedown. If he misses it, Dan Murrell keeps that shiny belt. No pressure here, gentlemen.
All right, Christian Harloff, back to you for your 5-point question. You chose the number 13. That corresponds to the category of Disney films. Oh, God. This is for all the marbles. This is for the belt. Which veteran actor lent his talents to Zootopia as the voice of Mayor Lionheart?
Repeat the question.
Well played. Which veteran actor lent his talents to Zootopia as the voice of Mayor Lionheart?
J.K. Simmons.
And your winner, and new
Yeah! He did it! He did it! Christian Harloff is the champion!
Harloff has the belt formerly belonging to Dangerous Dan Murrell.
Wow, that one, like you said it, Mark, that was, handoff, 3 yards and dust type of game. Like I said, down to some strengths that both these players had, and some stuff in the middle of the rounds where they were back and forth. It comes down to the end, maybe as it should for a championship match.
Mark Riley, how was he able to pull that last question out?
Well, the fact that he has a small daughter and watches Disney movies might have helped the fact that he knew that answer. He played it well, though. He wanted to make sure he did the great JTE rule, and he asked the question again so he could get his thoughts there. That's a sign of a true competitor, knows how to play the game, and now we have a new champion.
We have a new champion, Ken and Mark, and now we go to both the new and the old champion here for the post-game interviews hosted by Emma Fife.
Christian was very clear about the fact that this was a retirement match for him. What nobody knew except for me was that this was a double retirement match, because I made up my mind a long time ago that the next time I lost this belt, it'd be time to step away from the game. The commission doesn't know about this. Nobody knows about this. I have decided that it is time to step away from the Schmoedown for a while. I will be back, but there's a lot of new blood down there. There's a lot of people that want that belt. And I think now's the perfect time to give all of them a shot at it. So
this is breaking
Wow.
news.
This is unbelievable. Let's give it up for Dangerous.
Well, at least we'll come back.
Unbelievable. Wow. I stepped down. We got a new champion, and then Dan Murrell is joining in the retirement party.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of people kind of poke a fist at
Everybody's going to want that belt, and me included. Wow. This is a whole new landscape here in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. For more insight on both the match and this incredible announcement afterwards, we now go to Emma Fife.
What's up, Movie Trivia Schmoedown fans? Emma Fife here with the commissioner, and now the Movie Trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, Christian Harloff.
It's weird.
It is. It's you're doing double duty here.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's so many things go through your head. It's just like the competitor. I'll be honest. The first time in 2014 when we played, there wasn't all of this. So all I wanted to do was I wanted to win it. I wanted to win the whole thing, and that was it, bragging rights. And I wanted to play Mark Riley. Makuga did the Blue Fairy thing. It was over. It was done. But now with all this, it's like, I always hear the comments or I hear the things, but then couple that with, hey, by the way, because I was just talking to Jay Washington. He's like, well, Vince did it too. So yeah, but Vince never retired Stone Cold Steve Austin. So when I'm sitting up there and Dan's like, no, I'm not playing anymore. I'm like, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have won. It's like, I want to see Dan play. I love watching Dan play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you bring up, when the Schmoedown started back in 2014, there wasn't all of this pomp and circumstance, and you didn't have all of these incredible new competitors coming in, as Dan Murrell alluded to, as he announced his retirement, which was a shocker to all of us. How are you feeling about that?
He had told me at the Spectacular last year that he's like, well, it's before he played Ellis. He's like, I just want to let you know that. What do you think? Like, if I don't win tonight, that I step back. And I go, I don't ever want you to step back. He's like one of my favorite competitors to watch. Ellis said it at the table, and it's completely true. I just wanted to see how long I could go with him. I had no intention of winning this. I had no intention of doing that at all. And to hear that I'm stepping back, it's like, I can't wait. I told him, you'll see it when I hugged him. I go, I'm going to get you back. So I'll get him to play again.
So then what is the plan moving forward? Without Dan Murrell and now with you with the belt, when are we going to see this belt on the line next?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. The Dan Murrell thing threw me off because I was planning on just saying that's it, that's the last match, and giving Dan Murrell the #1 contender spot at the Spectacular and letting him play against whoever, was the finalist and didn't win. And then I don't know what to do anymore. I was going to maybe put the thing up on the line and let them all battle it out at the Ultimate Schmoedown, but I feel like I got to defend it against the winner.
I feel like that is definitely true. And I also feel like your daughter might have had something to do with you answering that last question correctly.
It did. And it also, when I left this morning, she was very aware. She's 5 and a half. She's very aware. She's like, Dada, will you be champion today? And I called her this morning, and she's like, did you win the match? And I was like, I haven't played yet. And I'm like, and I feel like I'm not beating Dan honey. So don't get too excited. You got a better chance of getting the dog tomorrow. But, you know, she didn't get the dog, but at least she got this.
That's true. Well, I'm sure she will be very happy to hear from you. You should probably go call her right away and share the good news. Congratulations, Christian.
Thank you. You can call it what it is. It's
It is a little weird, but we still love you. And we will be right back with the person who is still a winner in our hearts but lost the match today, Dangerous Dan Murrell. And we are back with Dangerous Dan Murrell, who surprisingly didn't pull out a victory today. Dan, this is unusual for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the real congratulations goes to Bibiani, because I think he pulled ahead on all the stat sheets after that performance. That was rough. That was the hardest game I've ever played, and obviously I think the worst game I've ever played.
Yeah, it was a low-scoring game all around, but I think that it just is a reflection on how difficult the questions were, not the skill level of the competitors.
Well, the questions were tough, but the questions are always tough. I think that I'm not sad to go out on a loss. I was prepared for that. I just wish I personally could have performed a little better, just to make it a better game.
Right, absolutely. I mean, considering that apparently in your head you knew from the start of this game that you were going to shock the world and tell us all that you were retiring. Would you like to elaborate on what prompted you to make this decision?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a long time. The triple threat was a retirement match for me. For me, beating Roca was the last little bit of unfinished business on my board. I wanted to come back and do that and kind of dot the period on the end of that sentence. And I decided that the next time that I lost the belt, whenever it was, would be when I retired. And I think it's actually great timing because I see the league now. I see how it's shifting. I see all these new faces. The dynamics are shifting, and it seemed like perfect timing to really shake things up. And I love to watch all of these other guys play the game. And I think the tournament this year is going to be great. I can't wait to see who goes through it, who advances. If they're playing the commish, I don't know who they're going to be playing. I don't know who's going to play for the belt. I think it'd be fun to see somebody other than myself, Mr. Roca and Riley, hoisting that belt above their head. We just got our first one today.
Who are some of the competitors that you think might have a chance?
I mean, everyone's always talking about Bibiani. Everybody's always talking about Weenie. To me, though, I think it's always the people you don't expect. I mean, it's this. If this match proves anything, it's that the conventional wisdom and how you think people are going to do and what you expect out of a match, it is thrown out the window the second that first question is asked. I don't think anybody would have predicted that today's match would have gone the way that it did, but it did, and that's how I play every game. You don't know what every game has in store. As far as I'm concerned, every single one of them is a clean slate.
Absolutely, and none of us know what's in store now for the future of the Schmoedown because Christian Harloff, the commissioner who did defeat you today, was going to offer you that #1 contender spot at the Schmoedown Spectacular. Now, he says that he wants to go at it with you again. Would you reconsider? Would you come back to the Schmoedown sometime to face off against Commissioner Christian Harloff?
I mean, I love the Schmoedown, and I am going to take a break, but I think if history tells anything, it's that it's hard for fighters to walk away from the game. So I don't think it's out of the question to say that I might be back someday. I don't know when that's going to be. I don't know how it's going to be. My advice would be that if you are carrying that belt on your shoulder, like Mr. Harloff is right now, maybe take a look over the other shoulder, because one day I might be there.
Well, again, Dan Murrell, you've been a wonderful competitor here in the Schmoedown, multiple-time Schmoedown champion. We all just think the world of you.
And I want to thank the Schmoedown fans who, I came over from Screen Junkies to do this. My first match was against Campia a year and a half ago, and they have been so nice and cool and gracious and kind, except for some of the D-bags on Facebook, but that's all right. They're the minority. 98% of the Schmoedown fans have been incredible. So I want to thank them for being supportive and watching this thing and coming over to Screen Junkies and everything. It's been a lot of fun. I love this game. I love playing this game.
We love having you here, and we'll continue to support you in all that you do. Good luck with your retirement.
Before you do, I was able to, if you don't mind, can I just sit there for 1 second? So, like I did when there was, after the collision, we had our conversation, and I said it then, I say it now. You are the best that has ever played the game. You are my friend. You are someone that I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping build all of this. Without someone like you, this doesn't mean anything. It means shit, because it does, because I felt like I was in playing a video game against like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Where how are you going to beat Mike Tyson? And I got lucky with some cheat codes. So thank you. It doesn't mean I cheated, you assholes.
Just open a can of worms, my friend.
but you know what I mean. It's like the fact that like I just wanted to thank you very much for helping us do this. When I say that, I want to see you back. I understand. I want to step back, but I want to see you back.
We'll see. Maybe one day. We'll see.
Dangerous Dan Murrell, the greatest of all time. Thank you so much, Dan, for everything, and thank you, Emma. She's the best. All right, back to those guys.
I mean, look at it right there. It's not a contrived setup. It's not anything that even the commissioner knew about. Dangerous Dan Murrell retiring. But before we get to that, Ken and Mark, Christian Harloff is the new champion, and I would say a worthy one of the movie Trivia Schmoedown.
I've said it time again. I've said it up top. You cannot count him out. He's got into this business for a reason. This is a kid who watched movies every day of his life growing up, and this has to be a proud moment. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him. It's tough to run this thing and also lead this thing in the field, and he has the belt now regardless.
That's right, Riley. You know, kind of compare how Christian was reacting to that interview the very first time he got to hold that singles title belt. What was it like for you the first time?
Well, it's something when the weight hits your shoulder after you've gone through what you've gone through, whether it's a match like that or building your way up by win after win, it is something to take in. And I could see it in his face, and he deserves it. My God, he's now on the Mount Rushmore of the Schmoedown, perhaps.
Absolutely, with a new champ Mark, and with Mark Riley stepping aside a bit, Dan Murrell stepping aside a bit. In Game of Thrones, there's something in the history called the Age of Heroes. And the current characters look back at that age as where all the heroes rose up and saved Westeros. We will look back to Dan Murrell, Mark Riley, these guys as the Age of Heroes, as a new generation reaches for these titles.
Nobody read those books, Ken, but I will tell you this. Before we say goodbye here, I mean, the Dan Murrell retirement, that doesn't seem like anything that was just thought up spotted. This is really something that he had plotted out and really wanted for a long time.
Yeah, and I know the feeling because when you've played as long as he has, as I have, as a lot of us here in this room have, it can take a toll, but it's nice to see all the new faces now because there is blood in the water. That belt now is on the line. Christian Harloff is going to have to do a hell of a time to defend it. And these people, these competitors, they're going to come at it. This is a shock to me.
The score was 14-13, like a 1960 AFL matchup. I don't even know if the AFL was around that, but the movie Trivia Schmoedown is alive and well here. Christian Harloff is the new champion. For all the latest goings on in the league, make sure you guys check out the Schmoedown Rundown on iTunes and request to be a member of the movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook page. We now turn it over to Joshua Hercules Makuga, Pittsburgh Superman, for the latest fantasy updates.
What's up, Movie Trivia Schmoedown fans? Josh Makuga here with your fantasy update. Post Christian Harloff, Dan Murrell, the champ has been defeated. He is retired. If you had him in your fantasy league, you should probably drop him. These are not keeper leagues. He may return at some point down the line, but I don't foresee it anytime soon. On the flip side, if you have Christian Harloff, keep him. He is huge trade bait right now, but let me tell you this. Because of all of his matches, and all of his matches are championship matches, it means he's going to play less often, which may be a good way to trade. Am I spoiling alert? Am I doing this? I said, Private Pile, you keep your mouth shut. Don't you break. Don't you break. Don't you damn break. If you break, I swear to God, I will rip your ear off and stick my finger into your skull. Play with your brain. Listen to me, and you listen good. You listen real good. This is a fantasy update, and if you treat your fantasy league like Cody Hall treats not breaking right now, you have a good chance of taking it down. When does the fantasy season end? The fantasy season ends at the Schmoedown Spectacular. So start racking up points. You need point getters. You need point holders. You need to drop Dan Murrell. You need to trade some people. You need to make some effing moves. Cody Hall doesn't care about anything. All he cares about is not breaking right now. For all your fantasy needs, make sure to check out Schmoedown.com. There's also a Schmoedown Rundown hosted by Ken Napsok every Thursday live on Facebook Live. And there's also, is that what it is? Inside Schmoedown, I apologize. Inside Schmoedown! Did you just break Private Cody? Inside Schmoedown live every Thursday. And of course the Schmoedown blog guys, I believe they're over in England. They're doing a hell of a job writing about us, making us look cool. I'm Josh Makuga. This is Private Hall. We'll see you next time on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Hand my microphone to Cobster. Go back on camera, done.
Oh, what's up, champ?
What's going on with you, champ?
It's weird, I know.
It's weird.
Very weird, especially sitting next to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so, wondering what the hell I'm doing?
I'm wondering what the hell you're doing.
Well, we got the Fatal 5-Way coming up.
Yeah.
Singles tournament's about to.
That's right.
Very strange that you're not in the division.
I know, it feels a little weird.
It's
It's
weird.
like amputating a leg. You
know.
feel the tingles
But
still.
you get a lot of color in your face, like you're excited you're not competing.
I'm excited. I'm taking a break.
All right, so anyway, I'm putting all these contenders in here, right? Okay. A lot of different contenders who have competed over the course of a couple seasons. I wanted to give everybody a chance here to try to get into the tournament.
Yeah.
So the winner plays Roca in the first round, and yeah, so this is it. We're gonna find out because Hector Navarro couldn't do it because of his schedule.
Okay.
But you are gonna do me the honors.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So hold on, let me
Sounds-
switch it up.
It's a fair and scientific approach to this
I
whole thing.
figured out how to do it this way.
Yeah.
Fair, simple, easy.
Yeah.
What you got?
Okay. I'm gonna pick. Don't show it to the
Who's
camera,
lucky
right?
winner? No, don't show it to the
Okay, I'm gonna show it to you.
Ooh,
That's interesting. That's
very
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
I think that person might have a chance.
I think so too.
All right.
I think
Well,
so, too.
that person is in. I know now who exactly is going to be in the Fatal 5 on Tuesday. The winner will play Roca in the first round. Man, that's I wish I could tell everybody right now who's going to be in it, but I'll save the surprise till Tuesday. But check it out. It's this Tuesday, and thank you guys for checking out the match today. I am honored. Thank you to Dan Murrell. Thank you to all you guys. Thank you to the angry commenters who I'm sure have commented, and to the great commenters and all the fans on the movie Trivia Schmoedown. Thank you guys so much. I kid. We love you, and this is something.
It is something.
Christian, I knew you would do it. I always believed in you. You created all this. It's only fitting that you are the Schmoedown champion. Much love and respect. Thank you for everything that you do. Until next time, peace.